Today we'll be taking a very short look at Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the Potato Masher. In case you don't know, the Potato Masher is a project of the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast. It's a $350 PC custom built almost 1 year ago and is designed to compete against the PS4 for the remainder of its life cycle. The goal is not to pick on consoles or prove that they are inferior, but to show that PC gaming can be a great alternative without spending a ton of money. If you want more information, check the description for a link to the original build video. You can also click the links on screen to check out Casual Shenanigans or the FAQ video if you have any questions about the project. Normally at this point in the review, I'd be showing comparison footage of the PS4 and PC versions of the game, and I'd be trying to figure out if the Potato Masher can do a better job than a PS4. That didn't happen with Black Ops 3. I feel bad because Arkham Knight was a similar story just a few days ago, but Black Ops 3 has serious issues on the PC. It does run better than Arkham Knight, but it's still very problematic. I knew RAM might be a problem because the minimum requirements for Black Ops 3 call for 6 GB. Sure enough, the campaign stuttered constantly and was totally unplayable, no matter what settings I was on. Right now, I'm playing at 500p. That's horrible. Even worse, the game didn't work. Thinking that this might just be the RAM, I loaded up another 2 GB and tested again. This campaign worked better at that point. Granted, I was still at medium settings and at 500p, but everything was 60 FPS and smooth. As soon as I went up to 900p, which, let's face it, isn't really that high, the CPU usage spiked to almost 100% and the frame rate dropped to 30, overriding the VSync limit that I'd set. The campaign didn't stutter anymore, but the frame rate was inferior to the PS4 and it still looked pretty bad. 1080p ran sub 30 FPS quite often at medium settings, so I kinda gave up and moved on to multiplayer. With the Potato Masher's normal 4GB of RAM, I was able to run multiplayer at 720p and low settings, albeit with plenty of stuttering and an inconsistent frame rate. Increasing to 6GB, I was able to play at 900p and medium settings, but the frame rate wouldn't stay consistently at 60. It even dropped below 30 at times. The stuttering was gone, but the CPU usage still spiked to 100% at times, and occasionally textures just didn't load for no apparent reason. Once I dropped the settings to very low, I was able to increase the resolution to 1080p and maintain 60 FPS fairly consistently. That's still pretty bad, but at least the game did seem to run without any major issues. Since the rest of the Potato Masher's specs are almost identical to the game's recommended system requirements, I put the recommended 8GB of RAM in and tested multiplayer again. I was able to run medium settings at 1080p with no stuttering, which is a step in the right direction. However, the frame rate still dropped below 30 FPS at times, and the CPU usage still spiked randomly. Because of this, I don't think RAM is the real problem with the game. Even if all the problems with the game were fixed, the Potato Masher might not have enough RAM to run it. I won't know because there are so many other issues. The last 2 Potato Masher videos have featured me adding RAM to the system to see if broken games will run better. So far, neither game worked properly with the minimum RAM recommended by the developers, but they did work a little better with the recommended amounts. The question of when and if the Potato Masher will need a RAM upgrade is one that the Casual Shenanigans crew has been talking about recently, and a video will be coming out soon that will directly address that. So far, the only games that have had memory issues have also had a host of other problems, so I feel like the problem lies with the PC ports of the games themselves, not with the Potato Masher specifically. Both Arkham Knight and Black Ops 3 didn't run properly even when I met or exceeded the recommended system requirements, so the games are definitely still broken. That said, if you want to play and enjoy Black Ops 3, get it on the PS4. It didn't look amazing, but it ran fine. If the PC version is ever fixed, I will attempt to make a proper review. Until then, thanks for watching and have a great day.